Morning Year 6, it's Mrs. Ulla here again. So our learning objective today is the same as the previous few days, to write an informative non-chronological report with a focus on a range of structural devices. So today we're just going to be continuing with our writing. By the end of today you should have finished that piece of writing. Okay, so you'll have to have a look at how many more subheadings you need to write. The next few slides just recap what we've spoken about the previous few days. So thinking about the audience and purpose, our fantastic of notice, and our success criteria. Once you get to the model of writing slide, there'll be another voice note from me. So here I'm going to continue to write. You should have written already probably 2 of your subheadings, and this should maybe be the 3rd one that you're now moving on to. It might be that you've done an extra one or you didn't quite get to that one, so just wherever you're up to. Mine's going to start with the subheading, What is the Sacred Cenote? And it starts, used as a large water source for most of the residents of Chichen Itza, the Sacred Cenote is a spectacle to behold. Over the years, this mysterious murky water has yielded many artifacts including gold, jade, copper, pottery, shells, and the bones of around 200 people who were thrown in as a sacrifice to send to the gods in times of droughts. So, I have got in there over the years, which is a fronted adverbial, and we looked at these over the past few days. I haven't highlighted that because that's something that I can now do. Something new which I'm now starting to add, which we've spoke about, mysterious murky water. Can you remember what that is? So you should be saying that that is an expanded noun phrase. Okay, we've got our adjectives to describe the water. I then continue and I've highlighted a colon. I've used that colon differently to how I used it yesterday. Yesterday I used it as a DD sentence to join 2 clauses. I gave some detail and then I described. I haven't done that here. Here I've used it to start a list. So I've started my list of the artifacts. I've then made sure that between each of those things I've used a comma. And before the last artifact I've used and. If you wanted to push yourself that little bit more, you might be able to use a semicolon within this list, but that would have to mean that you have given a more detailed list. So think about how you could do that. It then continues to say who were thrown in as a sacrifice. I'm giving extra detail there and I'm using a relative clause, and I've highlighted the relative pronoun of who. So think very carefully about the things that I've done today. Could you include those in your work today? So once you've finished writing your paragraphs, you need to think about putting in your did you know box. On your planning sheet and the research that you did, you thought about interesting facts, and you might have found out some things that didn't quite fit into one of the paragraphs that you've written, but you think it's really important for the reader to know. So it might be that you want to have a did you know list and use bullet points for each different fact. I haven't put facts on here because I'd like you to pick your own, okay? But think about using bullet points to do that. Once you've come to the end of your piece of writing, I want you to make sure that you have proofread it again. So thinking about our cups, capital letters, understanding, punctuation and spelling. Once you think you've proofread it, you can upload it onto Edmodo for us to have a read of. Can't wait to read them, and we'll speak to you soon.